Listen carefully because this is something many men experience but rarely understand. Most assume that when a woman is warm or friendly, she is simply being polite. They brush off the small details. She smiles a little brighter when she sees you, and you convince yourself she smiles like that at everyone. She says your name and something inside you reacts, but you ignore it and move on. What you do not realize is that attraction often reveals itself in the smallest, fastest moments, in the first few seconds of contact, before logic steps in, and before someone has time to adjust their behavior. Genuine feelings tend to slip through. Psychologists sometimes refer to this as emotional leakage, when the body expresses what the mind has not yet organized or controlled. The greeting is one of the most revealing moments of all. It happens quickly, almost invisibly, yet it can say more than a long conversation ever could. When a woman is truly interested, her reaction to seeing you is rarely neutral. It carries energy, it carries focus. One powerful sign appears in something very simple. She says your name. Not just a casual "hey" thrown into the air, but "Hey, Daniel," or "Oh, hi, Alex," spoken with a subtle emphasis, as if your name has weight. Names are personal, they are specific. When someone uses yours immediately, especially with warmth, it often means you were already on her mind before you even arrived. Think about the difference. If she walks into a room and greets everyone with a general, "Hey guys," but then looks directly at you and adds your name, that shift is meaningful. It shows attention. You are not blended into the crowd. You stand out in her awareness. This does not mean you should overreact or jump to conclusions. Calm observation is important. Attraction grows best in steady ground, not in desperation. If you suddenly become overly eager, clingy, or hungry for reassurance, you can disrupt the very energy that made the moment special in the first place. Instead, remain centered. Respond warmly, but without rushing. Let her continue investing in those small gestures. Confidence is quiet. It does not demand proof or push for immediate answers. It allows space. When you begin to notice these subtle differences in how she greets you compared to others, you are not imagining things. Small details matter. The way she says your name, the brightness in her expression, the quick spark in her eyes, these are rarely random. They are often the earliest hints that her interest goes beyond simple politeness. This is just the beginning. Now let's move deeper into what happens immediately after that first greeting. There is a moment I like to call the pause and shift. She may be busy when you enter the room. Maybe she's scrolling on her phone, laughing with a friend, or focused on a task. Then she notices you. There is a tiny pause, almost invisible, as her mind registers who just walked in. In that brief second, something changes. Watch closely, and you will see it. Her attention moves. The phone lowers slightly. The conversation she was having fades or gets cut short. Her body turns more toward you. It is subtle, but it is real. When someone is simply being polite, they do not reorganize their focus so quickly. But when interest is present, priority shifts automatically. Attraction often reveals itself through attention. Where focus goes, energy follows. If, for those few seconds, you become the center of her awareness, that tells you something meaningful. She's not just acknowledging your presence, she is responding to it. Another powerful indicator appears in her voice. Tone carries emotion in ways words sometimes cannot. When she greets you, listen carefully to how she sounds. Does her voice soften? Does it rise slightly? Does it become warmer or more melodic compared to how she speaks to others? Research in communication and behavioral psychology has shown that people often adjust their vocal patterns when they feel attraction. A woman may shift into a gentler, more expressive tone without consciously deciding to do so. It is not a performance, it is an instinctive response. Her body reacts before her thoughts fully catch up. Compare it gently in your mind. How did she greet the person before you? Was her tone steady and neutral? Then notice the difference when she speaks to you. Even a small change can be meaningful. Emotion often leaks through sound first. Once you train yourself to listen for it, the pattern becomes much easier to recognize. There is also the matter of physical proximity. During the greeting, pay attention to distance. Does she step a little closer than necessary? Does she lean in slightly? Maybe she touches your arm briefly or chooses a hug when a simple wave would have been enough. Personal space is something most people guard carefully, especially with those they feel neutral about. When a woman comfortably crosses into your space, even in small ways, it often signals a desire for connection. It does not always happen consciously. The body moves toward what it feels drawn to, that extra inch closer, that brief touch, that natural lean forward can communicate more than long explanations ever could. The key again is composure. Do not freeze up and do not overreact. Match her energy calmly. If she leans in, you remain relaxed. If she steps closer, you stay grounded. Attraction builds when both people feel safe and steady, not when one person suddenly becomes overly intense. These signs, taken together, begin to form a picture. Attention shifts, tone softens, distance closes. None of these alone prove everything. But when they repeat consistently, they tell a quiet story about how she feels in your presence. The final sign is one of the quietest, yet it can be the most powerful of all. It happens after the greeting seems finished. She says hello. You respond. The words are done. But something lingers. Her eyes remain on you for just a second longer than necessary. It is a small pause, but it feels different. Polite interactions tend to move quickly. Eye contact breaks naturally, and attention shifts elsewhere. When interest is present, there is often a slight hesitation before she looks away, almost as if she wants to stretch the moment a little longer. That lingering glance is rarely accidental. It reflects a desire to stay connected, even if only for a breath longer. Sometimes you will notice a soft smile that stays even after the conversation shifts, or her body remains angled toward you instead of turning fully away. These are subtle signals, but they carry emotional weight. The body is often more honest than words. Now, here is the most important part of all. Seeing these signs does not mean you should confront her or demand clarity. Do not ask, "Do you like me?" Do not suddenly change your personality or try to impress her with exaggerated confidence. Attraction thrives in steadiness, not pressure. If you notice these patterns, respond with calm warmth. Match her energy, but do not exceed it. Let her continue investing. When you remain composed and self-assured, you create space for her interest to grow naturally. Confidence is not loud. It does not chase. It does not beg for validation. It simply stands firm. Build your life around your own goals, your growth, your purpose. When your world is full and meaningful, her attention becomes a welcome addition, not a desperate need. That balance is powerful. When she senses that you value yourself and your direction, the dynamic shifts in your favor. You become the one she continues thinking about long after the greeting ends. And remember, the right woman will not hide forever. Interest becomes clearer over time when it is genuine. If she continues to step forward in small but consistent ways, you will know. If she does not, you continue forward with strength and clarity towards someone who will. Stay observant, stay grounded, let connection develop at its natural pace. When you understand these subtle cues and respond with calm confidence, you stop placing yourself in the background of your own story. Instead, you step into it fully, allowing the right connection to meet you there.